Crypto market analytics, guys, we're back, and we're breaking in right now on some negative sentiment that we see coming through all across board, and that's not surprising at all because we had a wonderful upside move for about 2 months, maybe something around 2 months. Pretty strong moves. We saw these moves coming from pretty much everywhere. Now, I want to say this. There is a probable scenario where this 2-month upside move, which was pretty intense, was actually a bullish trap. And the last thing we want to do is fall into a bullish trap. Now, the reason I say this is because of analyzing a few different coins and seeing some similar behavior. For example, we got the OMG here, the OMGUSD, where it was definitely overshooting itself on the upside to the point where I was actually convinced it's breaking the top resistance 2.12. I mean, having said that, I was a bit suspicious about that because all we had here up until that point was just 3 legs in this trading range formation. And we know that typically we have a breakout on the 5th or 6th leg, and the breakout on the 3rd leg, that would be far too early. So I was a bit suspicious, and when price began to turn around and quickly come back and establish itself back below 2.12 here, at that point I kind of figured out that this might have been just a false breakout, and what we actually should be expecting here is a new downside move, which would be significant enough to push price all the way to the lower section, possibly even to the very edge of this setup here. So we're talking about 129 and all the way down to 0.9114. That's the potential here on the downside. Now, a few more elements that needs to be taken under consideration is the comeback below the previous high. You remember that key level because that was my price target, right? That's where I actually pulled out altogether from my bullish position on the OMGUSD and just stood on the sideline. But I kept that key level here. It's not a natural symmetric key level. It's just the previous high. But have a look how much respect price seems to be paying for this key level. At first, it was slightly spiking it from above, and at some point it was basically trapped between that particular key level 193.54 and the 230 moving average from above, and then it completely broke that 93.54 level, right? That was just a few days ago, and then it actually came back. This is really something interesting here. It pushed pretty strong on the upside, just to touch base on the 200-day moving average, and boom, crashed. And as you can see, began to break away from that 93.54, suggesting that it was trying to turn around. It just doesn't. It's not going well for it. Too much pressure is coming from this area, which makes me believe that we're probably looking at just the build-up of a more significant downside move. It's not actually a technical correction, which would have been for the previous upside segment, but rather a full-fledged downside move, which is going to be part of this trading range that had already, started to build up around December 2018. And like I said before, we can only see 3 legs here, so it's more likely that we'll actually see the 4th. So the main target here with regard to this particular bearish opportunity would have to be this 129.94 as final destination, and another secondary intermediate price target, if you will, at 173.36. That's about that for this one. OMG on the downside. We'll see you in the next one.